What's up everybody, you got Merc here, and today I'm going to be bringing you all my GPC Season 5 Week 4 match. This is going to be against Melon and the Exeter Chief Electivirs. So right now he is 1-2 and we are 2-1. Of course we got our first loss of the season last week from a very luck-based match, if we're being civil about it. But it's in the past. I only lost one differential from it, so I'm still 2-1 plus 9, which is in the top 4 in the division, which is really nice. And as long as I just keep on winning like I should, then there's no reason why I would be out of the playoff picture or even out of first place contention. So that's really neat. So let's just look at the matchup. He brought Mamoswine, Embor, Crobat, Doug Trio, the Absol Mega Guy, and Regigiants. So that's pretty much everything that I was expecting. I also considered that he could bring Snorlax and Seismitoad to this match, so that's just good to know. So right off the bat, I know that his two potential rockers are Doug Trio and Mamo. It's more likely going to be Sash Doug Trio as his rocker, probably, because I feel like he'll want 4 attacks on Mamo to do the dirty to my team, because Mamo does some dirty things. The thing I was most afraid of in prep was that Embor Mamo core, and so he did bring it, but I am well prepared for it. He did bring the most setup foddery thing. Well, he only has one real setup fodder thing right off the bat for Clef, which is Regigiants, because I'm assuming it's Calm Mind, because I guess he could have brought like Trick Room, but then he would be really weak to a lot of my offense. So that would have been interesting actually, but I don't know if I would be able to play around it, but we'll see. Aside from that, if you haven't checked out my team building, you should go do that so that you can see my specific sets, but I'll just go over them quickly. We've got Calm Mind Encore Clef with Magic Guard, Cursed Mega Venusaur, and it had Seed Bomb. And after the match, I was talking to Trev, and he was like, "Yo, why didn't you run Petal Blizzard, which has 10 more base power, and there's no downside to using it, and it can't miss, or it has 100 accuracy." So that was a mistake in building. I should have ran Petal Blizzard instead of Seed Bomb. So Venusaur will be hitting a little less hard if I ever throw one of those guys out. Sash SD Lucario, really good against his team late game, as long as I can keep hazards off the field, which he only has Crobat as his means of hazard removal, because I don't think Absol can really prevent Donphan from getting rocks up. So if I can just force him to defog or just prevent him from getting rocks on my side of the field, then Lucario Sash should be pretty safe. Then I've got Zap Plate, 4 attacks Thunderous with the modest nature because it hits really hard, and his only switch in on this team to it would be like Spadef, AV, Mamo, or especially defensive Regigiants. And if he is Spadef Regigiants, then Lucario is going to be able to have a very good shot of knocking it out with +2 Crunch, which is neat. Then I've got Fizz Def Donphan with Rocky Helmet and Stealth Rock, Spin, EQ, Knockoff. Pretty basic stuff. This is just like cannon fodder for Embor, because I wanted something that would punish it for clicking Flare Blitz, because Flare Blitz does some ow to my team. And lastly, have a mixed defensive Gastrodon with Yawn and Clear Smog, because nice memes, and also Yachi Berry, because in the case that he brought Freeze Dry Mamoswine, then we could be dugging in on these fools. So I'm just going to turn the music off and turn it to slow, and let's get into it. So I'm going to be leading off with my Donphan, as he's going to lead off with Embor. I just saw that rocks were really nice against his team, and I didn't think he'd lead Absol. So turn 1, he's going to go for the Grass Knot, which is fine. I kind of expected that, as I'm going to be able to get my rocks up. And based off that damage, he is no special attack invested, and he's also not Life Orb, because you see Leftovers, which Leftovers is really good for me, because that means that Leftovers means that he can't really break Mega Venusaur, which is super duper good. And I'm guessing he brought lefties because it makes it a really nice switch into Sneasel, because Sneasel actually did do a lot of work against his team, but I just ended up not needing it for my build. But anyways, after seeing Grass Knot, I figured he's probably going to go for the Flare Blitz to try and potentially catch an aggressive play to Venusaur. And also I ran some calcs if that's no special attack Embor, which it looks like my Gastrodon spread is not to it KO'd by it. So Gastrodon seems like a really safe switch in right here. So I'm going to do that, as he does go for the Flare Blitz play here, which is nice for me because that means this thing is inside. And now I'm just going to click Recover, because I don't want to get 2-hit KO'd by the Grass Knot, and I should be able to recover up against it maybe, because it does less than a half by a little bit. So he's going to go as Reuniclus, establishing that this is Magic Guard, which I more or less expected, and also that it is his switch into Gastrodon. So I'm going to go for Yawn here, so I can prevent it from doing Calm Mind shenanigans, as he is going to drop a Toxic and miss. So after seeing Toxic, I'm assuming that this is Toxic Calm Mind, because he did bring that against, I believe, Gareth earlier in the season for Mega Latias. So I'm assuming he was guessing I'd be unaware Clefable, but I'm not, so that means he's going to be mono attacking, which doesn't matter since I didn't bring Sneasel, so I'm not immune to its mono attack, which is most likely going to be Psychic or Psyshock. But knowing that he has Toxic, Clefable should be able to easily switch in because I am Magic Guard, as he is going to actually pull the double out here, and I felt like just going for a Scald right here. Yeah, because he was Yawned, I figured he probably wouldn't want his Reuniclus to go to sleep, and a Scald is really good against his team. So here he's going to go for the U-turn, and that damage off of Scald shows me that he is max HP, and the damage off U-turn shows that he's not offensive, which is cool. And he's just going to go right back out into the guy, which is fine, because I'm going to Scald. No burn yet again, and I do get some more information, because that Scald damage tells me that he is a max special defense Reuniclus. So that's super good knowledge, because that means while Thundy can't 2-hit KO it now, Lucario can definitely 2-hit KO it, and has a good shot to knock it out with a +2 Crunch. So that's neat. Also, we see lefties, so no Colbur Berry, which is also nice, so now I don't have to like knock it off before I can sweep with Lucario. So that's great. Now I know that he probably can't touch me with Clef, so I'm going to go into Clef, as he does drop the Toxic, predicting, no, he's just trying to Toxic Gastrodon, but I am Magic Guard because I didn't need Unaware, since I do have my nice meme, as you're about to see, with Encore to deal with this thing. So I'm going to Calm Mind, he's going to Calm Mind, we all Calm Mind, and now I'm going to drop the Encore and completely halt all of his momentum right here. So this set is going to work beautifully, as it is going to completely shut down the Reuniclus. He could potentially like Calm Mind to +6, but I could do the same and continually Encore him into Calm Mind forever, basically. So I know he's going to switch, and I want to get a +1 Moonblast off on something, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. At this point in the game, there's no real reason for me to keep setting up, because he does have big threats to me like this Emboar, Mamoswine, and Mega Absol with Iron Tail that can do well over half against Clefable, so I know I can't win with it yet, so just dishing out a Moonblast would be really nice, and his Crobat cannot switch in to this thing after Rock, so he's forced to switch into something and take a big hit. He goes in the Emboar and takes 61%, which is great, because that means he should die to a Rocky Helmet recoil from Donphan. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into Donphan to sack it off for Rocky Helmet. Alternatively, I could have gone into Gastrodon and just sponged the hit, because this thing can't touch me. But I'm just going to opt for this play because it's cooler. And Rocky Helmet's not going to knock it out, but he dies to recoil. So I'm still going to give that as a kill to Donphan, his third kill of the season, and that's the first kills of the game, as it's a double down, so we're tied 5-5. Now I'm going to drop into Thundy here, as he's going to go ahead and switch into his Mamoswine. So now the potential plays I was considering was, I thought he was a Life Orb, to be honest. Life Orb maybe with Freeze Dry, but just Life Orb does a lot of damage to my team. And I know that Life Orb Ice Shard cannot knock me out no matter what, unless he crits. And I thought there was a potential he could be like Scarfed, but if he was Scarfed, I feel like he would scout for either Scarf Thundy or for Yachi Thundy, because Yachi is very viable in this match. I definitely could have brought it, and if he did his homework, he'd know that I do have the potential to run berries, as I do have a berry count on my spreadsheet, which I will not show you guys, but most people who watch this is already in the league. But anyways, I really didn't think that he was going to stay in here, but even if he did, I was pretty confident that I could take a hit unless it was Scarfed Icicle Crash. And if I could knock out this Mamoswine, that'd be great. So I'm just going to go ahead and stay in, click Grass Knot, as he's going to go for the Banded Ice Shard, and I live on 1%, as I'm able to knock him out with the Grass Knot. So that looks like a roll. It definitely was a roll. After the match, he confirmed that he was Adamant Choice Banned, which with my HP investment of 68 in HP, that was actually a complete 50-50 roll to kill or not to kill. So I got the coin flip in my favor, so I'm getting a little more fortunate in this game than I was in the last one, which is nice. Obviously the toxic miss on Gastrodon earlier sucked for him, but Gastrodon's not the most necessary piece for this match. I just kind of need Clefable and like Lucario to win at this point, potentially. So getting that roll was nice because I killed the Mammo, but also what could have happened there was because his Crobat was weakened and I had Stealth Rocks up and his Reuniclus I don't think was at full. If he knocked me out there, I could have just gone right into Lucario, set up an SD, and won. So that's that would have been really nice if I could have done that, but oh well, wasn't in the cards for today. And we still are in a very good position because now I have Thundy as sack fodder and his Mamoswine is dead. I can't really do much with Thundy at this point, but like I said, I'll use it as sack fodder, and no, his Reuniclus didn't have any damage. I'm going to go for Volt Switch here because I want to get some damage and get the hell out of here, because having Thundy as that sack fodder for later will be really nice, especially if I need to get Lucario and to set up a Swords Dance. So I'm just going to go into Clef. I'm convinced this thing can't touch me, and Psychic does 33, and I'm uninvested in Spadef. So yeah, this thing can't touch me, and it can't Calm Mind against me because I have Encore. So here I think I'm just going to go for the Moonblast, see if I can knock out the Crobat potentially, because if I could get rid of it, then Rocks will definitely stay on my side of the field, but I'm not going to be able to kill him. I don't think that's a roll, and also we don't see an item. He's probably just safety goggles because that makes it a super safe switch into Mega Venusaur. But here I don't want to stay in and potentially take a Cross Poison or something, and also I can't beat this Crobat 1v1, or so I think, because I don't know his set yet. As I'm just going to go into Gastrodon because I'm pretty sure that he can't touch me since he went for U-turn earlier. And here he shows Defog. So now we've seen Roost, Defog, and U-turn. So I'm assuming that his last move is going to be a flying type move, probably Brave Bird. So that means that Clefable can actually set up on it now, which is really good to know. I guess I could have just started Calm Minding up then and there and did the work, but we're not going to go ahead and do that because I didn't want to get taunted or cross poisoned or whatever. So Gastrodon's in, and now I'm just going to go ahead and click Yawn because I want something to take a fucking nap. That's what I want right now. He's going to go for the U-turn, does no damage, and I believe I'm just going to double Yawn because I want something to go to sleep. Obviously, if I had Stealth Rock up, then I would have been able to really put the Whittle on his team. So that's too bad, but it's whatever. Now he's gonna go into Reuniclus as I yawn him, and there's no way he's gonna try and Toxic me here, so I believe I'm gonna yawn. I'm either gonna yawn or Toxic again. I think Scald. I'm gonna go for the Scald right here because I want to try and get a burn on the Crobat. That would be really helpful so that Clefable and Venusaur could set up on it. But alas, that's not gonna happen. As he's gonna Roost, and I'm gonna yawn. And this is kind of a sort of long sequence of plays, but he's going to U-turn out again. He gets a crit, doesn't matter because it did 19% and I'm still really healthy, as I'm just going to keep on spamming Yawn as he goes into his Absol here. And now this could have been a misplay. I'm going to click Scald though, but I think my best play was just continuously clicking Yawn, because even if he did knock me out with Absol, then he would have a sleeped Absol, and then I would have the chance to set up an SD with Lucario. Which might not have been the best play because I think that Crobat is out of range of +2 E-speed. Yeah, 75% is out of the range, so that wouldn't have been a good play. But anyways, I'm going to go for Scald and get the burn on Reuniclus, so a poorly timed Scald burn because now I can't do my Yawn shenanigans because Reuniclus is now effectively immune to that, so that's too bad. But I do have my very safe switch into this guy, and he doesn't have a whole lot that can really punish it, or anything that can punish it, because I am in fact out of range of a Jolly Absol's Iron Tail, so that's good to know because I really don't think he can run Adamant, because I do have a Sneasel which would speed ties it, and Thundy, if I was max speed, would outspeed a Mega Absol if it was Adamant, I think, right? Yeah. But he's go for him went for the Toxic there, wants to try and Toxic my Gastrodon, which is a Valor and whatever play. I believe here I'm just going to fire off a Calm Mind, because at this point I'm pretty sure that I can start setting up and doing the dirty to his team, especially since Reuniclus cannot win in a Calm Mind war against me. So right here, I'm just going to be super extra double sure and make sure he's not cross poison. Go for the soft boiled, as he is Brave Bird. That does 33% because I'm max Fizz Def, and now we're at the point where Clefable can just kind of do a lot of work against his team. He's going to get a crit, does 47, so what that does tell me is that double crit Brave Bird cannot knock me out, which is really good, as I can just Calm Mind, and this next sequence of plays is pretty boring. It's just me spamming Soft Boiled and Calm Mind until the point where I'm at a good state of health that I can knock out the Crobat. And basically, I want to get set up and then be at a point where the combination of Brave Bird plus Iron Tail from Mega Absol could not knock me out, because that's the only way he can kill me at this point. So if I'm above that range, then he is forced to sack his Absol for damage against me, which is nice because getting rid of a thing is good. So we're looking good right here as we just play this game. Basically, I'm just trying to always keep Clefable's health where Brave Bird plus Crit Brave Bird can't knock me out. So that's a thing. So which basically means I need to be above like... well, I always need to make sure that I'm above 50% after I take a hit. So I'm at +3 right now. I believe I'm going to end up getting to +5. This is just kind of long and boring, but I'm going to keep doing the do. Get up another Calm Mind, and then I'm going to Soft Boil a few more times. Then get up one last Calm Mind, Soft Boil a few more times, and then we'll proceed to start going in with Clef. So at this point, if he was an Iron Tail Absol, or if he misses an Iron Tail, Clef just wins. The game just ends, and we have a 5-0 victory. So that was kind of what I was hoping for. That would have made a happy me. But that's things and stuff. So I believe right here, I'm just going to Calm Mind again. Yeah, I go for my last Calm Mind there, and definitely out of range of Crit Brave Bird. So now I'm going to spam Soft Boil. I guess I could have sped this part up, but no, because I want to talk to you guys. So I believe I'm just going to click Soft Boil twice, and then I will be at a point where I can knock it out with a Moonblast. So Clefable is able to handily win this exchange. This is why you should probably bring like Taunt Crobat to beat Clefable, because his team is pretty badly versed against Calm Mind Clefable if he lost his Wall Breakers, which he did. So now we're finally in the situation that I wanted. As long as he doesn't crit me here, we should be able to take an Iron Tail from Absol on the following turn. He does not crit me, and it puts me on a 65, so which is the max roll for a Absol's Iron Tail to knock me out if he's Jolly. So I kill him with the Moonblast, I get lefties, so now I am out of range of Jolly Absol's Iron Tail. If he's Adamant, I'm screwed, but I really don't think he will be, and if I dodge an Iron Tail, then we just win. So he's gonna go ahead, Mega Up, fire off an Iron Tail, and is he connect? Yeah, he is going to connect, and I said, is he connect? Good job, me. So I'm gonna effectively trade Clefable for Absol here, which is fine, because now we are in a effectively 4-2 situation, because all he has left is a Dugtrio and a Reuniclus, and I have my Lucario Sash intact, so I'm in a very good spot to win this game. Also, Venusaur is at full health, so it can take on this Dugtrio easily. He's going to knock out my Clef, and now I'm going to go ahead and drop into Venusaur and go for the knockoff, as I figured he'd probably go into his thing, assuming me to be special and it being able to tank the hit and all, but I'm just gonna go for that knockoff, and it does a crisp 44%. Now here I was dumb and I didn't run calcs for once, which I've been calcing pretty diligently this season. Now from 30%, I need a max roll on Seed Bomb. I found out after the game that I need a max roll Seed Bomb to knock him out from here, whereas I have a slightly better shot of knocking him out with a knockoff from here. I thought that knockoff was going to do more. That was stupid. I wasn't thinking clearly in this end game, and I'll talk about that after this next play, but I'm going to go for Seed Bomb. If I get a max roll, it dies, and I just win with Venusaur, but it doesn't. I get a pretty high roll, but not enough, as he's going to be able to recover, so I'm like, shit, that's not good. And I'm going to go for the Curse here, as he is going to recover up to full. And after this play, I just thought about for a minute. I was like, wait, if I leave Venusaur in here, that puts me in a position where I can potentially lose to Dugtrio. So, excuse the dog noises, but yeah, if I let Venusaur get weakened, then I have the possibility of losing to Dugtrio if it's able to crit my if he's choice banded with EQ, or if he's able to like crit my Gastrodon with an Earthquake. So I was like, hold the phone, I need to go into my Thundy and sack it off here, and then set up an SD with Lucario and do a lot of damage, if not kill this thing. So I'm going to drop in Lucario. I'm sashed, so I know that there's no possible way he can knock me out. If he goes into Dugtrio, then I can knock it to it, KO it, because he's probably sashed. As I'm going to go for that SD, and this puts me in basically checkmate here, because he's going to go for the Psychic, does a lot, and now here I'm going to be able to go for the Crunch, and Crunch has a 56% chance to knock out a max HP, no defense invested Reuniclus, which at this point I'm pretty darn sure that's what he is. And even if I do not knock him out, he will be at pretty much no health, and to the point where Venusaur can just knock it out with a Seed Bomb or a knockoff, and then Dugtrio cannot beat a Fizz-Tef Mega Venusaur. So I win at this point. It just depends on how it happens. He's going to go into Dugtrio, actually, which I found really weird. I guess he was trying to potentially Life Orb stall me, but I'm going to go for the Crunch, and I'm Sash, of course. That's going to knock him down to his Sash, and I knock him out with E-Speed. And now all he has left is the Reuniclus, so now all that matters is, will this be a 2-0 or a 3-0? So I'm going to fire off the Crunch, see if I can get the roll in my favor to go, and I am able to knock out his Reuniclus, so that's going to be the game. We are able to pull out a nice 3-0 victory against Melon, and I forgot to do this last week, or the week before, and obviously last week there was no winners, but for this week I'm going to be bringing back the Mon of the game, I guess. And for this week, I definitely want to give Pokemon of the game to Clefable for just doing a ton of work. It was able to essentially shut down the Reuniclus from being able to Calm Mind against me, and it was able to take out 2 of his Mons. That was just really, really good for me, and also it allowed me to switch into his Reuniclus safely every single time, so that I didn't have to have things get toxic or take big hits. So yeah, Butters did a fantastic job. Also, Lucario did a great job cleaning up the game, as I expected it to. So we are able to pull out that 3-0. We are now 3-1 with a +12 differential, which at the time is tied for the best differential in the division with Shoddy, who's 4-0. Spoilers. I did that spoilers thing wrong, but you guys probably already know. But yeah, so depending on how Josh does, we'll either be 3rd or 4th. If he wins, we'll be in 3rd place. If he loses, then we'll be in 2nd place. So that's cool. Hoping to climb back up to 1st, because I was pretty rudely removed from my seat. But that's cool. We have a great differential. We have a great team. And next week we're going to be playing Will, except we won't be playing next week because it's a bye week, because a bunch of people dropped from the league, and now it's a bye week because we have new people and they need to settle or something. So yeah, we'll take the week off, which is good, and then we'll get back to it. So hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like, I guess. Sure, whatever. And hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you all later. Peace.